Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, this is me, TRN. We're playing more Super Metroid. And we are excited to be here, aren't we? Yeah, we just defeated Butwoon and we are going to get more collectibles, we're going to get more items and upgrades, and we are trying to stay away from Quicksand. Up here, there are certain pathways that are dangerous. You'll fall through here and you'll be falling down the sand again. So you have to go all the way back and sprint across and try to be the morph ball again. Now this time the ground won't fall down and you'll be able to go across safely and get the actual energy tank. Now if you want to, you can use the this thing right here to see. And as you can see there at the bottom, there was the pathway, so you have to turn inside. You have to turn inside out. No, you have to turn into morph ball and jump across and get the energy tank. Easy. So what have you guys been up to? I've been thinking about these things, these Metroids. I wonder, like, you see these here, these are the failed experiments that were made by the space pirates, and these Metroids, they can be you know, taken down by an easy shot from the ice cannon or even the grapple beam, like that. Whilst the previous ones in the earlier games, you have to defeat by shooting an ice beam and then blast them with the missiles, with 5 at least, I think. Well, except in the second game, where you shoot missiles, just spam missiles at them. This room here is really easy. As you can see, I'm not having trouble at all. I'm just cool. I'm not falling into the quicksand. I'm not doing it. Alright. So, what can we talk about? Yeah, I played a good game. Yeah, well, a good game. Debatable. I played another game yesterday. I played and finished Jeanne d'Arc for the PSP. And it's a level 5 game. It's a strategy RPG. One that I've considered playing for a while. It took a long time to complete though. It's a really strange game. It's like the Japanese take on the classic story of Jeanne d'Arc. And this time it has furries and demons and skeletons and undead demons, stuff like that. Well, it's a cool game. The thing is, the game gives some of the characters you have special items, like the bracers, like bracelets that give them superpowers. You know, I'm gonna tell you more about that after we've done the next room here, because at the bottom there's gonna be a boss fight eventually. But first we're gonna get a missile here, I think. Just be careful here and swing across, or just... I remember this room, the ground is actually fake. There are no spikes here, so just go over here and get the missile pack easily. Now the floor is fake, so just walk through the water easily. Now, also, additionally to that, if you use a gunshot there, you'll get through to the bottom and you'll see a boss eye. Now you know what's up. You know what's up through this door. Definitely. This is the boss I was talking about earlier. The boss that was really cool and had great mechanics. At least I think so. And as we start off, you'll have to destroy those pods there on each side. There are 3 pods, 2 pods on the right side and 1 on the left. And one is already open. A couple of missiles, take them down. As you can see, those are failed Metroid experiments down there. And they are burying down in the ground and summoning their mother. That's Dragon. Now Dragon is really dangerous. He's a guardian of this place, and as you can see on the floor here, he's been feeding. Now you want him to grab you. He does that when he's shooting off those gray gobbly goo things. Now you want to keep spamming the grappling beam here towards the energy sources, and once you do that, you lose a lot of health, but he'll lose even more, and you'll toast him basically. And I love that fight because you are the conduit of the energy, and he's being toasted, and it uses the grappling beam. A little sad the ending there when you see the small ones coming after the mother or the big one. Aww. But it uses the mechanics really well, even though you can be unlucky and miss with all the grappling beams, and that sucks. We get the space jump. Now the space jump is, I think it's difficult. And some people love it, other people think it's difficult and annoying. It gives you the ability to continually spin with a spin jump as much as you want. Effectively, this means you can just spin through the air like this for as long as you want. You have to time the jumps so you don't mess it up. If you mess it up, you'll fall far, far, far down, and you don't want that. You don't want that. Now, in the Game Boy game, I thought the space jump was really difficult. In this game, it's maybe too easy. Thing it does is it makes it easier to access parts of the game that you were having trouble with earlier. Places where you needed to use the shine spark, places you had to use the grappling hook, the grappling beam, sorry, to access. But what it does is it basically removes the purpose of the grappling beam at all, and the shine spark. They are useless now, and the developers spent a lot of time, you know, developing the way grappling beam and the way the shine spark worked, and the space jump just negates all that. It's easier, it's a lot more preferable than using the other skills. Now, what they could have done is they could have, you know, given the grappling beam another purpose, like combined it with the space jump, for example, that you had to jump across somewhere and use the grappling beam to access something, or you could have restricted the space jump in certain areas, for example, with if you had an area with a lot of electricity that interfered with the space jump, where gravity was different, for example, underwater. And then you'd only be able to use the grappling beam underwater, for example. That would be cool, but instead they decided to let you replace all those other skills with this one. It's not really a fun skill either. Of course, it's fun to fly, but in this case you're just spinning around, and even later it turns almost... This is the most important skill you'd learn in the entire game, except for shooting. It's the when it's combined later with the screw attack, this thing turns into a death machine, or it turns Samus into a death machine, and it becomes your, well, almost main focus of attack, I would say. It gives her a lot of movement though, that's positive. But I'm not a big fan of the space jump. It's better in Super Metroid than in Metroid 2, but it's still difficult. Or not difficult, but it's still... I still feel like grappling beam is a lot more interesting. Now we get the plasma beam. Plasma beam, it replaces the spacer, I think, and it gives the waves a different wave shot. Now, as you can see, they turn into beams that cross each other. Now this makes them all more lethal as well, so the plasma beam is the way to go. As you can see, Samus now is really dangerous. She is not easy to be stopped. Now we have the plasma beam, we can go back to... and we have also gotten the space jump, so now we're just finishing up the items here. in Maridia, and then we're ready to go on to Norfair again and finish up. Now with the plasma beam, these Metroids are really simple, as are those guys, even though I'm messing up. Next up is one of the parts of the game that it's the worst part of the game. Not because it's necessarily bad, but look at this. You have to stay in the part of the sand and fall down through it, and then you'll enter an area below. The reason this is, terrible game design is because the game expects you to, or it doesn't expect you to, but it's beneficial for you to seek the place that has earlier been the part that kills you. I mean, it's the dangerous part of the areas is the sandstorm here, the quicksand, not the sandstorm, quicksand here. And why you'd want to seek that danger and just drown in it is beyond me. The game is essentially telling you to try dying to get more exploration out of the areas, and that doesn't make the player better. It simply tells you to try being bad. It's not a part of the exploration, because these areas are, you either have to know that there are areas that are only accessible if you die. Well, you don't die, but still you have to seek them out to discover the correct way out. Now you have to do it again. Fall through the sand here. And as you can see on the map, I've marked the areas, or they are marked with the white arrows to show you where you get out. Now, we got those two items in the rightmost room there, but we're not done. We're going back to the others later. But first, we're going to head over here. Now, if you destroy that little block there, we'll be able to use the space jump to get up there. Now, there are water here, so we have to have the suit from the wrecked ship as well to get up here. Of course, we have that. Now, if you spin the jump enough here, you'll eventually get to the top. Now, at the bottom, we'll move towards one of the... no, I destroyed that guy. We'll be moving towards one of the most useful items. I think this item should have been attainable earlier in the game, actually, because it's really interesting. Now, you use this, the power bomb here, because we have to use the crusher guy to remove this wall of dirt. Now, he's quite slow, so you have to wait for him to do the thing he does best. He destroys things. So I'm gonna speed this up, and we'll just wait for him to break the entire wall. I love the sound though. The sound effects are so cool. I heard that this game uses the same sound effects as Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Not really sure. Anyway, now we can just shoot this guy now, because we don't need him anymore. Now, at the end here, we'll get an item that is useful. You don't really have to use that power, the bomb jump with the morph ball anymore, because you get the spring ball. Now, the spring ball basically makes your morph ball able to jump. It's a spring that attaches to the ball, I guess. And not only does it jump, it jumps. I guess it synergizes with the space another space jump, the high jump boots, so you're able to jump really high with the morph ball. There are some areas you can get into with this. There's also the fact that you can actually turn into a morph ball whilst jumping as Samus. And you can also use the bomb trick for easy jumps, as I showed you earlier, if you spam the button. I think we're heading back to the left room beneath Quicksand now. But there's a long way around. We have to get all the way up again to get that. Now we're going down here again. This is the place where we used the shine spark to get the rocket on. That was located on the top. I guess you can call this the room where we blew up the tube. Actually, it's a lot easier way to organize things. Anyway, yeah, the sound effects are really great in this game. The way the music is a mixed bag. Some of the music is great, like this one. This tune here, so serene, so calm. Really fits the underwater parts of Maridia. Like really great. Whilst, ooh, there's a secret passage here. Alright. Whilst the sound of the blaster is, when it hits the enemies, the sound is so satisfying. Feels good. This enemy isn't dangerous. It's a neutral enemy, just trying to defend its small children. So you don't have to try to kill it, just avoid it and get the energy tank here. There's also the missile on the rightmost side of the room. Oh! Almost looked like I had the screw attack there. I started to wonder why, but I'm not really sure. If you shoot down here a couple times, make sure you have the wave beam attached. Now you get the missile. Not really that difficult, just make sure you have that equipped and attack from above. Alright. Now we're gonna head back to the sand place. The Quicksand room, baby. Go to the leftmost door at the top here. We'll go through the top. I'll use that guy as a platform. Alright. Now this is the big room with the large number of grappling beam blocks, I guess. I guess we can call this the grapple room. Oh, and I stopped the beam. The sound for the space jump, it gets annoying because it's such a monotonous sound. It's like a scratching sound. The beam sound is really satisfying though, even though it's repetitive as well. The beam sound has this thump sound. It's like when you're shooting a grenade launcher. You get that feeling of, or grenade launcher in a game, sorry. You get the feeling of impact when the pellet exits the gun, which is awesome. You get the feeling that the beams exit Samus's cannon instantly with that thump sound at the start. Yeah, I love that. Such a satisfying noise. Now here we are in another one of these rooms. Luckily there are only, well, these 8 parts, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess 4 places where you have to use the fall through the quicksand mechanic. Yay, so useful. Needed me some water. We're getting there now. We are on the total collectible count. We are over halfway there. About maybe 3/5. 3/5 there. Almost 3/4. Yeah, 3/4 of the way. Almost. Now, once again, we're going back to the tube we blew up. Only this time we're going to the right here. We're getting no, I forgot. I'd already done that. I think I thought that was like an energy refill place, but I had a lot of energy, so... Yeah, we're heading back there now. Basically, we're just wrapping up the collectibles in these areas, because we have most of the items we need to continue, basically to finish the game, except for the collectibles. So I'm basically trying to finish up all the ones that are in this area, because it would be really annoying to go all the way back here after we've done a lot of the other stuff that is, you know, localized better. Now there is one item that is noticeably gone from us. We'll get that later, just before some of the last bosses, namely the screw attack. Now the screw attack is really strong, and in the first Metroid game on the NES, you're able to get the screw attack really early on, which makes the game a lot easier if you go get that quickly. Now, the screw attack is an addition to the spin attack, which gives you the ability to attack other enemies and not take damage yourself. It can also, you know, deflect enemy shots at you. So, especially against the last boss, it's really necessary if you want to survive. Here you want to jump up with the spring ball. Now we're actually heading back up to Criteria because we are gonna save the game and restock our supplies before we are actually going down after or to Ridley's hideout. And the whole reason we actually got to Zebes was to get the Metroid back, remember? So we have to go to Ridley's hideout. But now we are out of time, so ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Super Metroid. I'm TRN. See you guys next time. Take care.